Thank you, George. That was actually triple the time. So you got to spend us a triple glass of wine, something like that. But thank you very much. I think what you have said with respect to the classical picture of advisors and the modern requirements that you refer to is actually something that for many of us will be self-evident, but to implement it on the national level and to get the award that it actually needed in order to also bring that kind of profession to a higher level so that it is also institutionalized, that is still a long way to go. But what you have referred to, whether it is the working context, the labor context, advisors are really needed not only within the scope, but we all know in the labor agencies that work within people not employed, so the job seekers practically. There we have a lot of advisors, but very often what we see, what I have seen personally also in quite a few countries where we observed it in studies in Germany, that the labor market advisors did not really have that kind of knowledge that you also asked for, which is actually the smart and the social knowledge, so that you can respond to the requirements of and the needs a person really shows when it comes to, for example, low self-esteem, drug abuse, alcohol abuse, and these kind of very important things, so that people become motivated. I think that what we have seen, that we have to work also on that, on the profile, on the training, the education of a very good career advisor, and that in the end the role he has or she has is really fulfilled. So I think that's very important. If you have any questions from your end, Panos?
Μια παρατήρηση, συμπλήρωση. Ο ρόλος των συμβούλων είναι πάρα πολύ σημαντικός και πολύ δύσκολος συγχρόνως, ιδίως στην κοινωνία τη σημερινή που ζούμε, γιατί όλα εξελίσσονται με πάρα πολύ γρήγορο ρυθμό και ο σύμβουλος καλείται να συμβουλέψει νέους για επαγγέλματα και για σταδιοδρομίες που θα βρει μπροστά του ύστερα από 7-8 χρόνια. Άρα η προβλεψιμότητα και η ικανότητα για να προβλέψει και να κατευθύνει σωστά είναι πολύ σημαντική. Επίσης πρέπει να λαμβάνει υπόψη το γεγονός ότι σύμφωνα με πρόσφατες έρευνες ένας νέος που τελειώνει τώρα τις πανεπιστημιακές του σπουδές μέχρι να ολοκληρώσει τον επαγγελματικό του βίο θα έχει αλλάξει τουλάχιστον 12 διαφορετικά επαγγέλματα. Επαγγέλματα και όχι θέσεις εργασίας γύρω από το ίδιο επάγγελμα. Αυτό σημαίνει πάρα πολλά και για την αρχική και για τη συνεχιζόμενη κατάρτισή του. Επομένως, ο ρόλος του Συμβούλου είναι πολύ σημαντικός, γιατί πρέπει να αναγνωρίσει γενικές δεξιότητες των νέων και να τους κατευθύνει σωστά, έχοντας κατά νου αυτά τα δυο πολύ σημαντικά γεγονότα.
Αυτός είναι και ο λόγος που ζητάω από τους συμβούλους να φεύγουν από το εκπαιδευτήριο και να έρχονται σε επαφή με τις επιχειρήσεις για να εισπράξουν τα μηνύματα, το προς τα που πηγαίνουν τα πράγματα και τι ζητάει η αγορά εργασίας.
Okay, thank you very much. Then I pass the floor to our next speaker, which is Dr. Simos Riditalis, who will talk about, let's say, online courses, as far as I understand it. And so we are eager to learn what you have to say with respect to what in Greece you refer to as MOOCs, M-O-O-C. So you have the floor.
Mr. Chairman, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much, and Panos, thank you very much for the invitation. So when we were discussing with Panos what should be my contribution to this conference, I was puzzled, to be honest. What should I talk about? And then the idea of MOOCs, as you all know, is massive open online courses, which means thousands of students attending in universities or other training organizations for free, with or without certification. But this is a revolutionary and huge opportunity that created new opportunities actually for vocational education. So although it has a lot has been said about higher education and what will be the role of MOOCs in higher education, there is not enough information about vocational education. So I did my homework before coming here, and I tried to put in this presentation some findings, but also some thoughts about the role of MOOCs in vocational education. So let me start with that, and just to a quick overview of who we are. We are from University of Piraeus. We have what is called the Cozy Lab. And why we call it cozy, it's because we try to make people feel cozy about technology, but also we try to create cozy technologies. And we only focus on interactive learning technologies. This is since 2003. This is exactly what we are doing, and the motto of our team is that we have to put everything into practice in authentic education environments. So not just, we are very good in writing papers, but we should be very good in writing papers with real validation of what we are designing. And it's one of the biggest team in my department with several colleagues, and I'm really lucky that I have them. Now, to get started, first of all, technology is not panacea. Okay, I am an engineer. I come from a digital system department, but I definitely don't believe that technology is the absolute solution. No. And I like this cartoon, you know. No, you were not downloaded, you were born, you know. It's although I see it even from my children that they feel so easy to use all the new technology, and it's interesting to see what would be their reaction with old technology. Now, because I like to provoke discussion, you know, this is my role in university after all, I don't know if you know this report about the no significant difference phenomenon. It is a very famous report by Thomas Russell, who since 2001, he collected a lot of reports and studies well published. It's not just peer-reviewed journals. And he tried to see if the contribution of technology in distance learning programs had an impact on learning. And he actually ended up in what this is written, and he says that there is no significant differences. There are no significant differences in student outcomes between alternate mode of educational delivery. It is what some old people say, in my age, in my years, you know, we had a very good educational system, you know, and you now, the new generation, you know, it's, you know, what are you doing? So when I say this to my students, especially my MSc students, they are puzzled. You know, I am there to teach them about e-learning technologies, and I say, you know, now technology does not make any difference. So this is a contradiction. However, there is the myth of no significant difference. And the reason is that, what are we measuring? So if we measure, for example, if students can enter universities, can pass the general exams to enter universities, no matter what educational system we have, the metric is the same. Because it's just general exams. We do not measure accessibility, new opportunities, soft skills, motivation, active learning, increased interaction. We don't measure that because what we measure is the grade at the general exams. So if we have network learning activities where students co-create knowledge, they share documents, they collaborate, they make criticism over deliverables, are we going just to grade their final deliverable? How about all the other competencies and skills that they have already improved during this process? So this is why we call it the myth of no significant difference phenomenon. And this is actually the starting point of what I would like to say about the MOOCs. So if we say in this technology-enhanced learning environment, we have the interaction, the technology can facilitate the interaction between learners, between learners and teachers, between teachers themselves. I mean, imagine this now to be in an open web conference. And of course, we have about the content. We have new forms of content, new forms of accessibility to content. And this is, I'm not going to touch the other parts of the triangle, just the content because of the MOOCs. But also you will see that there are parts in my discussion that we are going to deal with learners and of course teachers. So when we're talking about content, let's start with open educational resources. This is the huge trend. We are talking about any type of educational resource, mainly digital, that can be disseminated and can be legally used and copied and adapted and reshared. There are specific licenses about that. This is Creative Commons. You can find a lot from the Declaration of UNESCO about how they can be used. What happened was that at the beginning, we thought that let's share content. But it's not enough. It's not enough just to have a textbook, a PowerPoint presentation. All of us that we are in educational settings, we know that it's not just to have a book. We need to have structured activities around a book. So this is why the next thing after OER was free open courses. And that was the this is the new trend. But let's see a little bit about OER. There is this OER Commons, several materials, mainly technological, less soft skills. We have, of course, everything started in 2001 from MIT and all the universities around the globe. So I have just a few things, you know, some from US, from Spain, even from Japan. So everybody, all the universities went to the open courseware. And then, let's say about Greece. Greece, 2 years ago, finished the open courses initiative. European Union gave a really good, they won an award for that. And 26 institutes contributed. Almost 4,000 courses are available, open, for free. And actually it's almost one-to-one. One instructor, one course. My university was the only one who did not contribute. No, actually it was 1 out of 3 universities that did not contribute. And there is a reason behind it. Because of the way it was organized, the way it was funded, and also there is no action plan after this. And I'm saying that because this is a vocational education, a vocational training conference. So university, with open courses, what they said is just put your course online. Not think about how other organizations can use this. So if I am teaching project management, for example, companies need this, but they don't need it as a university course. They need it in another form. And the license that they gave us did not allow any other organization to use it and make it a shorter course for any other institution to use it. So this was one of the reasons that my university, because of our mentality and the way that we are deeply involved in learning technologies, we try to say that we need another type of license. They didn't allow us. As the Minister of Education, we said, okay, keep your money, give it to other universities, and we are happy to do that. To be honest, I will tell you what we are doing now as a university. We are the first university that we are going to open these nano degrees. I will tell you later what this is all about. Now, of course, there are very interesting business models around here. It's the Khan Academy and teacher-paid teachers is one of the biggest open market for educators that they share free, but also for paid resources. Now, MOOCs. What is massive, first of all? And we are talking about, at least 4-digit participants, open registrations, self-paced. Some they have starting age, start and end dates. Some they don't, and they are affordable because they are for free. Real time, no. Depending, collaboration, no, unless there is peer review. To start the discussion about MOOCs, I can say that they change a lot the accessibility to high quality courses. However, from pedagogical perspective, now we are 20 years back because it is so behaviorist. Read this, a video and a quiz, a video and a quiz, a video and a quiz. From pedagogical perspective, you don't see any active learning unless we are talking about peer review, but we cannot do collaboration with 1,000 students. We cannot do it even with 200 students, not even when we are talking about such a massive audience. However, for vocational training, there are opportunities. So, to give you some numbers, this is from it's the latest review from Class Central, and they are going to have new ones at the end of the year. We are talking about 58 million students attending. Over 700 universities, mainly universities offer MOOCs. And we are talking about several courses which are we are talking about registered MOOC courses of the platforms. Just to give you an idea about the enrollments, we are talking about double the enrollments since 2014. So we are talking, this is huge. And the number of students is 1 out of 5 working professions in the US. So it is, we should see MOOCs as one step forward for finding some solution in vocational training, especially with cutting-edge technologies or cutting-edge professions. The good thing is that now, because we have so many courses, we don't see such massive audiences. So we see students studying in smaller cohorts because also of the spread around of platforms in Latin America, China, and of course Europe. And now going in a more interesting path, see this, Yahoo sponsors employees to earn verified certificates on Coursera. So now industrial partners are thinking of using MOOCs in order to promote the skills of their employees. And this is very interesting because they are for vocational training or even for lifelong learning, when someone needs to improve the skills and competencies, there will be opportunities for that. Certification is a huge issue. We can discuss it for years. We don't have the time, but still, because most of the MOOCs come from universities and well-known universities, and they have a very solid process of approval before being uploaded and delivered as a MOOC, then certification is, the process of certification is quite well defined. Now, there was one very good, very recent review. They say what should be the role of MOOCs for corporate learning. And you see that what they are saying, employees answer that, HR managers answer that, they say that they should provide more work type offerings. They should be short, they should include leadership development, and of course to be more gamified because they are bored. They can get easily bored. So the key question is, MOOCs will I know, and because of decision makers in higher education, definitely MOOCs will have an impact on higher education. How about vocational training or corporate training? My feeling is they will have huge impact. Now, how about employees and talent acquiring companies? Are they going to hire people with MOOC attendance certificates? This is, I don't know. My feeling is that they will, but let's see it. Now, and I go, what they call it, vocational MOOCs. This is, some people call it VOOCs. I hate this, but vocational MOOCs is interesting. And probably you know about Thron, the founder of Udacity, one of the platforms of MOOCs. And what he did, he teamed up with a number of employees from Facebook, Amazon, and he organized what is called nano degrees. And let me give you just a few moments before ending to give you an idea of what is nano degrees and which are tightly vocational. So what they are doing, Udacity now works closely with corporate partners to create courses that actually intended to produce job candidates. So not just academic knowledge, but really real knowledge and skills that the industry and the workplace demands. And this is the screenshot from Udacity. So just see where they are now. We are talking about 12 nano degrees. The students or learners have to pay per month or upfront, which is very affordable. We are talking about almost $200 per month for a duration of 3 months. It is self-paced, but they say you have to complete everything in 3 months or 6 months as a typical. If you don't manage to complete this in 3 or 6 months, you have to pay extra. So there is a motivation for someone to say you have to finish this. And the interesting stuff is the last bullet that I'm putting here, that if you pay $100 extra per month, then they can guarantee that you are going to find a job, which is crazy. And till now, there was a report that only 2 people actually, and it's fully refunded, only 2 people actually got refunded. Only 2. Which is, and we are talking about almost or more than 4,000 students already attended from these nano degrees. So you see there is a new era coming. And I believe that this will change a lot the role of MOOCs in vocational training. So what I was saying that at the University of Piraeus, my department, we will be the first university that we try now to offer nano degrees. Not with full refund, because you know about the economic crisis in Greece and unemployment, so we are not going to have this full refund, but we are thinking of, and we have already started discussion and design about creating these nano degrees, and I will tell you why. The reason is that because most MSc programs have been hugely affected because of the new law enforced by the Ministry of Education. So there will be a huge reform of all the MSc course programs offerings. So we had to find another way of attracting the attention of our graduate students. And we believe that nano degrees is one of a very interesting method for doing that. So, closing. The challenge is that, first of all, because of technology, we are not talking anymore about novel effects. MOOCs are here. Everybody, almost 1 out of 3 students have attended a MOOC course. So we cannot, say, oh, wow, yeah, you have a MOOC, nothing. No novel effect. In vocational training, however, we have the challenge, which is there is no one-size-fits-all solution. So this is why MOOCs, as they are, cannot easily be integrated in vocational training. And from my experience, if you want, from other people, colleagues, designing e-learning programs for vocational training is what I call it, is art and science. It's both. You need to know very solid foundation from pedagogy, from technology. However, you have to be like a designer, which is a little bit of artistic thing. So thank you very much again for your invitation, and